Everything that you've been taught about empty space is wrong. So you look at a vacuum and you see a void. You see a total absence of matter. But physics has officially proven that nothing is actually the most dense reservoir of energy in the known universe. We've spent centuries burning fuel and chasing sunlight while standing waist deep in a limitless ocean of power that we simply didn't know how to touch. The era of generating energy is over. We've moved past the lab bench theory of superposition to do the impossible. We're now harvesting the literal fabric of reality. By trapping zero-point fluctuations inside superconducting cavities, we've turned the universe's lowest energy state into a measurable, usable voltage. This isn't just a breakthrough hardware, it's a moment humanity stops being a tenant of the universe and starts becoming a landlord. See, the next phone might not need a battery. It has a sovereign connection to the vacuum. To understand why this works, you have to accept that the universe refuses to sit still. In classical physics, zero is a dead stop, but the quantum world is different. See, there's this residual jitter that exists, even at absolute zero, almost. See, think of it like this. The vacuum isn't an empty room. It's a room filled with 1,000,000,000,000 microscopic springs. They're all vibrating at once. In 2026, we finally built the trap to catch that vibration. We use superconducting cavities, mirrors that are so perfect that they prevent these fluctuations from vanishing back into the void. So we basically box in the vacuum. Now, by engineering these cavities at nanometer scale, we forced the universe to hand over its energy to us. Scaling this didn't kill the coherence. It actually stabilized the output. We've turned a physics paradox into a power plant. So there's so many product applications for this. This is the death of the grid. This technology isn't just longer lasting phones. It's the liquidation of energy transport, the forever smartphone. We're moving towards a device architecture where the battery is a solid state vacuum harvester because it recharges via 0-point pressure. Your phone stays at 100% indefinitely, even while running high demand AI tasks or watching my videos maybe. We can have autonomous logistics. Imagine a semi-truck or a drone that never lands by harvesting the energy in the vacuum. It's moving through it. And the concept of refueling stop becomes an industrial artifact. Chemical batteries, they fail in the cold of deep space. 0-point harvesting thrives there. This technology allows for 50-year satellite lifespans and deep-sea sensors that operate with zero maintenance. Let's look at the reality of this. What happens to the world? 90% of all the energy is generated indefinitely and locally. Remember that drone that never lands? I wonder what happens to the global balance of power when a sovereign nation launches a few missiles that never need to land and they can just circle the globe for decades before they identify their target. See, the current global order is built on scarcity and choke points, and let's be honest, the ability to print money. For 200 years, nations have fought over the geography of energy, oil fields, gas pipelines, lithium mines, but when you can harvest energy from the vacuum, geography becomes irrelevant. Energy becomes a sovereign asset that belongs to whoever has the hardware, not whoever has the land. Is this the death of the petrostate? When the vacuum provides 90% of a nation's needs, the economic leverage of energy exporting regions just evaporates overnight. We aren't talking about lower gas prices. We're talking about the total collapse of the energy superpower model. The grid is one of the most expensive and vulnerable structures in human history. Quantum batteries might make the grid obsolete. When every home, hospital, and factory has its own infinite power station, the centralized command of the 20th century disappears. We're moving from a world where energy dependence exists, and we're moving into a world of quantum sovereignty. This is where the theory becomes a sovereign asset. Now, in the next 24 months, the sovereign battery could bypass the electrical grid entirely, moving from the lab into 3 specific tiers of industrial reality. First is like the death of the charging cycle. We're looking at a smartphone architecture where the battery is actually a solid-state vacuum harvester because it recharges via 0-point pressure. Your device stays at 100% constantly. The power cord is like the crank on an old Model T. Second, deep space and really harsh environment autonomy. So standard chemical batteries, they fail in extreme cold or radiation. Vacuum harvesting doesn't care. We're talking about satellites and deep sea sensors that can just operate for 50 years with no maintenance because they're powered by the same vacuum that they're floating in. And then third, we can decouple logistics. Imagine an electric semi-truck that doesn't need a megawatt charger. It just recharges while it drives through the highway, using the vibration of the vacuum to maintain its state. This is total liquidation of energy transport infrastructure we've built over the last century. Now let's talk about the harsh truth. People ask if housing a superconducting field in their pocket is safe. The thermal load on these modules is almost non-existent. Recent research from OIST and CSIRO shows that these internal quantum batteries can actually generate less heat because they recycle energy within the system rather than dissipating it as waste. So remove the cooling requirements from massive dilution refrigerators to localized solid-state cryogenic chips. This creates a system with its own internal fuel tank that recharges while it operates. And the result is a device that runs high-demand AI tasks and actually gains charge while doing it. The wall plug is becoming a relic of the chemical age. Now, when energy becomes a localized, infinite resource, the geopolitical map of the last 200 years evaporates. We're moving towards a world of quantum sovereignty, where centralized power is replaced by universal access. This isn't just about longer-lasting phones. It's about a fundamental shift in how we power cities, vehicles, and the future of computation. Humanity is officially, finally, tapped into the fundamental pulse of the universe. The architecture has won. Now, I've posted a few lists of these, like tier 1, tier 2 companies that are building these technologies, from industrial titans like Toyota to QuantumScape's pretty big, and then some deep tech labs at OIST. If you go to quantumobserver.org, you can check it out. I've also got a newsletter. Check that out too. And I'll send you a breakdown of some of these infrastructures so you can see which of these platforms is actually buildable and which one's just like a roadmap of fluff. Subscribe.